Hello everyone, my name is Brianna Bilo. I'm a meteorologist here at the National Weather Service in Grand Junction, and this is your December 2021 monthly climate summary. So the story of the month was our December winter storm cycle. December itself was actually well above averages in terms of precipitation across the board, but we started off the month with an unsettled pattern and it continued throughout the month. So we ended up seeing a relatively major winter storm probably once a week. The mountains got 1 foot to 3 feet of snow, every 7 to 10 days. And then the 10-day period between December 23rd and December 31st, we actually saw 2 major winter storms. We saw our first snow in the Grand Valley. We saw 4 inches of snow in the Grand Valley a week later. We saw major impacts to holiday travel through all of our major corridors. This picture particularly is on Highway 550, going through Colbank Pass on Christmas Eve, and this was actually in the middle of the day. And then to round it all off, our top 5 10-day snowfall totals from these 2 storms at the end of the month saw anywhere from 95 to 170 inches of snow. That is 8 to 14 feet, which is honestly just a little bit mind-boggling. So that really was our story for the month of December. As far as temperatures were concerned, our highest high occurred in Meeker on December 3rd, and that was 61 degrees. And our highest high occurred in Vernal on the 1st, and that was 53 degrees. The month of December actually averaged above average as far as temperatures are concerned, with the beginning of the month actually being unusually warm. We set a couple of high temperature records. And then as far as our low temperatures, our warmest low for the month occurred in Grand Junction on the 19th and 20th, and this was 14 degrees. And then our coldest low occurred in Craig on the 18th, and that was negative 11. So despite it being a warmer than average month, we did actually get into some well below average low temperatures, especially in the wake of these very strong winter storm systems that would drag in some very cold, deep air for the next couple of days behind them. And then as far as precipitation, again, as I mentioned, we were well above average, more or less across the board. Coming in at the top, we have Durango with just over 2.5 inches of precipitation for the month, and they were 1.64 inches above average. And then coming in at the bottom, we have Vernal with 0.62 inches for the month, and they were only 0.07 of an inch above average. So they were we kind of ranged from roughly average to above and beyond average, with Grand Junction, Cortez, Aspen, and Durango coming in around about 1.5 inches above average for the month. As far as our drought update, as you would expect, and this is from January 7th, we did see quite a bit of improvement to the drought for the month. With a wide swath in the central mountains coming and into the Grand Valley, even coming up to D0 or abnormally dry conditions, and then much of the area, with the exception of far southeast Utah and far northwest Colorado, ranging from moderate to severe drought, and just pockets here and here of that extreme drought, and no longer any exceptional drought. We like to see it. And as far as our monthly drought outlook, we are still looking at drought persisting across the area, with the exception of far northeast Utah and maybe a tiny sliver of northwest Colorado, where we're looking at drought remaining but some improvement. We'll see how this goes. Depends on how the next couple months pan out. And as far as a snowpack update, as you would expect with that very strong, potent winter storm cycle for the month, we have now come in above average in pretty much all of our basins, with eastern Utah ranging from about 140 to 150%. Some areas, such as the eastern portion of the Duchesne River Basin, coming up to almost 160% of normal. And then looking at Colorado, we range from about 130% of normal up north to 135 to 145-ish, maybe up to 150% of normal further for the central and southern mountain areas, and right about 100% for the portions of the upper Rio Grande that we do also forecast for. As far as our January 2022 outlook, and again, this is from earlier in January, we are looking at above average temperatures for the month pretty much across the area, and we are looking at above average precipitation for northwest Colorado and northeast Utah, and then equal chances of above or below average precipitation for the month for the rest of the area. And so that's that. Thanks, everybody. We'll see you again in a couple of weeks with your February update and also your 2021 year-end recap. Thanks.